We are still in our show, Good Morning Kuwait, dear viewers watching us through the KTV2. Now we're going for our next interview segment. This period maybe feel calmer, but not everyone feels at ease. Some are so used to be constant tension, that calm that can bring anxiety and also emptiness. And this episode we will explore, can we become addicted to the anxiety, and why do we sometimes fear might happen more than we already has? So let's welcome all of us our distinguished guest, Dr. Amir Zourob, psychiatrist at FSHN Health. Hello and good morning, doctor.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me today.
You're most welcome, and thank you so much for joining us in our show, Good Morning Kuwait. Doctor, let's move on about our first topic. We already spoke about the off-air, about the concept of addiction to stress. What we want you to elaborate?
It's not a classical addiction. It's not a classical addiction in the sense, in the clinical sense. It's more that the body or the brain could use to have anxiety, and
okay.
It's become like you used to have anxiety, and this is not a real addiction, but it's a kind of tension, you know. It's like, that's why it's not addiction. A lot of people, they speak about like screen time now, and it's like news consuming, and it's like we are addicted to this. No, we are alert and we are anxious. That's
okay.
why.
And also, doctor, I noticed like during this kind of situation in the state of Kuwait and everything, you saw some people, they misunderstood about the meaning of anxiety. Like you see a man, you see he feels too much, like you see from his eyes, you feel he's totally angry. There is feels of anger. Does like anxiety change, reflect in a different way?
Yes. The anxiety reaction, what we know, like to be anxious.
Okay.
And maybe like traditional or related to the culture, like men tend to have like anger issue, okay, because anger is more acceptable for men in our culture. And it doesn't mean like you have to be anxious. And we have to be careful about this. It's like there's another kind of reactions or coping, and this is a coping mechanism, but still it's like dysfunctional coping mechanism, and it's a sign of anxiety.
The sign of anxiety, like that's why like the meaning, because you are in a specialty in this field, so this is like your role to share the awareness for the community. That's why I notice some people, like especially the children, how can the parents also comfort the children about the situation nowadays?
They have to focus on their self. Like it's not about like to calm the children, but like to act in front of the children like calm, and to reassure them and to hear them and to share something positive with them, even when are like to be like reconnected to small physical activities, like walking, like playing with them, like telling them like not all details. It depends on the child age. What to tell them, but it's at the same time to reassure them and to help them like, okay, everything is fine. We have people there are like protecting us, and like to reassure them and to act calm, because children cannot understand the language, but they understand the body language.
The body language,
yeah?
The behavior.
When you are anxious and you tell them like, oh, you have to be calm now, it's like they will not understand it. Yeah.
That's why, because you know, especially in the age, you have to show the most important thing is the body language. It reflects everything. Yeah. But some people now, they are attached like all the time. They will be constant to, we call alertness now. Is it like normal nowadays?
Yeah, to the alertness, like they are alert. It's like biologically, the body during the stress, the body releases like adrenaline and cortisol, and when the adrenaline and cortisol are high, these create pathways in the brain. Okay, which is? And the brain will be like used to have these pathways, and even when things calm down outside, you don't feel calm inside. That's why it's like it's unfamiliar for the brain. It's like, okay, everything is calmed down, but it's like our brain is adaptive to the stress more than we realize. Nice. And this is very important. Our brain prefers familiarity, or it's like something familiar, even when it's exhausting.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why you mentioned something important, doctor. The brain like save everything like for the emotional and the things like it's adapting a different instead of the situation, the brain already absorbed the constant. That's why when we see like people stay feeling anxiety, even the situation are calming down. This is the thing you're mentioning?
Yes, because it's like the brain needs time like to adapt again and to feel safe again. And it's not about how we feel, it's about our brain. We have like a small part in our brain called amygdala, and that's when we are hyperarousal, we call this hyperarousal, and we feel like very uncomfortable with things calming down. Why? Because stress was filling a mental space, and stress was for us not just like distress, it was like a distraction for us. It was like something we used to have, and when we calm down we don't have this distraction, and we have to confront ourselves and reflect ourselves like with what we felt before. Yeah, and it's like something is missing.
How can we comfort this kind of people? Like, because we are sitting at home sometimes and the news play a role. Some of your parents or your family, they're feeling the same way. They're staying alert all the time, even the situation is coming down. How can us comforting them? Should we let them stay whatever they want, or we have to say something to them?
The thing is, when we consume news all the time without breaks, this is exhausting.
Okay.
And it will cause a lot of mental health disturbances after that. And we have to say something.
Which is?
We have to say like, okay, let's speak about something small. How was your day? How is everything?
To break
and it's like to break
distract.
the thing. It's like the consuming of the negative news, because our brain cannot differentiate between fake threat and real threat. And it's like, is it a real danger or it's a fake danger? And when we will speak about something in our real life now, this will calm us. And that's why it's like communication with our parents, with our elderly people, with our children. This will help a lot. And it's not only to consume it. And it's we don't need to make the news like the whole day. It's the news, and the center of the day is the news. Like, we can consume news, but it's like 2 times daily, or something like only for 10 minutes or something like that.
And also, is it like imagination playing a huge role during this situation? Like people thinking too much? Maybe some people going to search about the situation, but imagination, sure, it plays something, right, doctor?
For sure, imaginations don't have limits.
Okay.
And imaginations feel like make us more anxious than the reality, than the real stress. And this is what we call as anticipatory anxiety. When things are uncertain, our brains start to try to make it clear, and we will imagine a lot of things. And that's why it's like this will make us alert, anxious, and exhausted after this. That's why a lot of people, they ask me about like, why I feel drained. You feel drained because you are anticipating and anticipating, and you are looking for solutions. What happened now? Yeah, and this is the imagination. They are more danger than the other things, dangerous than others.
And also people now consider about the emotional eating, because people staying at home maybe, and some people they're not staying at home, maybe they're going outside, but still the amount of calories they are eating are a lot. This is like linked with the emotional eating, we can say.
We are looking for happiness. We are looking for rewarding. And now in this time, it's like we don't have anything like to feel happy. What's the fastest way to give us the feeling of happiness?
Food.
To increase the dopamine. And when we consume like sugar, chocolate, food.
Like our report about the dark chocolate.
It's like, that's why it's like we will give a shot of dopamine for us, and we will feel happy on the short term. But on the long term, we will have the guilty feeling.
And also guilty feeling, but is it like notice like if the situation are coming down, people they are feeling guilty. Should I become like I feeling of the relief, or still I am continuing with the community or by myself? Some people have misunderstood about the situation and about himself. What do you want to say to them, doctor?
Yeah, this is the unfair feeling. Like people feel like unfair when you feel relieved and others are suffering. But this is not selfish.
Okay.
This is mental health. If you are like relieved now, you can help others better. And this is a normal human reaction when you feel relieved. Don't blame yourself.
Okay.
But this is a kind of empathy. When you are empathic, you will feel guilty about your relief feeling. But it's like, don't blame yourself for that and start helping others to feel relieved as well.
Okay. This is important, doctor. You mentioned something nice. So you have to feel relief as well. So how can we talk to ourselves? Like, you know, the time when I want to change from one situation to another, it needs time. So people have to aware about their body. So how can we comfort ourselves?
Like to set boundaries in the beginning and to realize our feeling. How do I feel now? Where does it feel? Where I feel it? Do I feel this in my stomach? Do I feel this in my shoulder?
Or in my cheeks?
Yeah, and this is here the body-mind connection.
Okay.
Yeah? And this will help us even in the real danger situation. And that's why it's like we have to set boundaries. You are informed, you care, but in the same time, you don't expose yourself to distressing input all the time. Maybe you help others. And that's what helps us, like setting boundaries to not feel guilty and relief. And no, we feel relieved. I might have like a kind of guilty feeling because others are suffering, but I can help them. Yeah.
And also, Dr. Imesha, when you point about your chest, is it like when our emotional things affect some organ about our body? Like if I feel stress, so some in my organs I will feel more pain? When you point about your organs. So what's the links between the organs and the emotional feelings?
Yeah, for sure. It's like we consider the human body as a whole organ.
Okay.
It's not, it's all of them, they are communicating together.
Okay.
When you are anxious, like before exam, when you are anxious, you will have like a stomach ache. Yeah. And, or you have like heart palpitation, or you have shortness of breath. All of these symptoms are symptoms of anxiety. That's why a lot of people, they go to the hospital before and they think like, oh, I have something in my body, but they have something in their mind. And the first symptoms you will realize from exhaustion and burnout are somatic symptoms.
Nice.
Like ache in the shoulder, like back pain, like headache, like heart palpitation, like stomach ache, like fatigue. And another name of burnout is chronic fatigue syndrome. Yeah? That's why it's like, this is for our body and mind.
Nice, amazing, doctor. The things and the topics and the awareness you want to share to the community today, on behalf of our show, Good Morning Kuwait, we say thank you for accepting our invitation today. And for sure, we'll be here again. We'll talk more about the topic. Thank you so much, doctor.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Special thanks and appreciation to our Dr. Amir Zourob, psychiatrist at FSHN Health. Now let's go to this tiny break. They will continue our show, Good Morning Kuwait. So stay tuned.